Welcome back. I am Ari and I recently played BUSTAFELLOWS. Today I present you my route review for Mozu. This is the second route that I played, just so you know. First I'm gonna talk about my first impressions and expectations. In this game there is a common route for the normal personal routes of the LIs, so I'm gonna keep my observations to the stuff that I saw in there. For BUSTAFELLOWS, that is up to chapter 4. The footage you're seeing is from up to chapter 2. After my first observations about the character, I will continue into the route while still leaving out spoilers. And after that I will go into my spoilers and then mention some spoilers that I thought notable if that comes up. I will let you know before I spoil anything though. I will also talk about dynamics between the main character, the love interest, in this case Mozu, and I will try to give you a feeling for the route itself. After all of this, I will give my personal rating of this route and love interest. So let's start. First of all, let's just go into Mozu's character. He's pretty honest and straightforward, which you notice immediately when you meet him. He's really smart and knowledgeable. He's possibly very perceptive, but he struggles with social stuff, I guess. He's polite in his own way, very calm. He has very reflective thinking, but he's absolutely introverted. I guess you can call him a kuudere. So this is what I saw until like chapter 2. Until chapter 4 I also saw that he worries a lot. He seems to have a really good nature below the facade, and I found it really cute that he's kind of a caretaker personality and he just takes care of everybody. Like he moms everybody around in a sense. Which is a really funny combination with being so introverted or like a kuudere, because I never would have put those two together, but it's adorable. He has a really interesting personal philosophy. He can emphasize on he can be really simple-minded sometimes despite being really smart. This is usually like cultural or social stuff. He is definitely a cat person, and he can be surprisingly manipulative if needs be with his statements, which caught me by surprise. As you might have already gotten from what I said, he's really caring, and he's kind of took me by surprise, but he's kind of really gentleman-like. Even though he's like really rational, I don't know, it's overall an interesting mix. It's a mix of a lot of traits that I usually like, but I'm not used to them all being present in one person like this. So needless to say, I really liked his interactions with the main character. I think they kind of play off each other nicely. I don't know, it's kind of a friendly, nice vibe between them when they interact. It's really progressive and flourishing, but in a really subtle way, I guess. So I expected his route to be like really soft and maybe like it's a slow burner. Yeah, so those are my expectations from the first 4 chapters. So let's go into his personal route now, which is split into side A and side B for the characters. So for side A of Mozu's route, I have to say this route, like now we're getting into my spoilers, I guess, I'm already saying that. I have to say the route kind of gave me brother complex vibes, but I didn't dislike it, if that makes sense, because it was actually kind of cute how it was portrayed. I can see people having an issue with, I mean, they're not actually related, right? And they're also not adopted or anything, but they have kind of these positions, or the way they act around each other or like towards each other kind of had me, at some point I really felt like this was kind of brother complex vibe. And I think that's because he lost his little sister and she lost her brother, and they're kind of bonding over that, so it's kind of bound to happen somehow. I hope you kind of understand what I mean. It's not annoying or anything, it's not creepy, but yeah, this is the easiest way to describe how the route felt for most of side A. It was actually kind of cute to see a kind of jealous side of Mozu, but now that I'm saying this, like, take this with a grain of salt. I say jealous, but it's like, well, he's a kuudere, so it's really mild. You don't see much of it. It's not really actually talked about in the game, but I picked up on it. That's what his motivation was. So yeah, don't expect anything fancy or big on display. But overall, I thought the route had a beautiful progression in their chemistry. So while it starts out as this kind of brother complex thing, you can really feel him falling for her, and it's really subtle, and I really like that because it's actually really not stated, but there were all these little hints throughout. So if you're like someone for subtlety, you will like this, but you really have to kind of read between the lines sometimes. And what I also liked was that it was the same way for our main character, so we also see her falling for him really slowly, but there are all these little hints towards both of them. I really liked the plot a lot. Everything made a lot of sense, which was a big plus compared to Crow, not gonna lie. And since we're already in my spoilers, it made me cry. I thought the ending was a little bit weird, but I still, I guess, liked it. It was satisfying in a way. I will keep some spoilers for now and just continue with my spoilers, but we're gonna come back to side A. But I have to kind of break something to you, and that is that in side A, there's actually not that much romance there at all. If you don't read between the lines, I can see a reader completely missing everything and just like staying in the mindset of this kind of bro complex. I think I'm emphasizing that word too much actually, because it's not even that. It might just be a friendship, a cooperative, supportive friendship. And if you don't read between the lines in this route, then it's just that there's nothing. Yeah, so it's just build up basically, the whole side A, in my opinion. So when I finished side A, I expected a lot to come from side B, because like it really needed to make up for the build up, right? There was a lot of build up now, so it really needed to deliver. Other than that, I found it really enjoyable. So I go into spoilers on side A, so if you want to skip that and go to the mild spoiler section of side B, go ahead. I will start now. I'm not gonna spoil what actually happens, but like some bits and pieces that I thought were interesting. I thought from the beginning that, let's say, the guy, you know who I mean, that's really important in this route, was kind of creepy, and I really like the first thing I wrote down was like, what the fuck? Someone died and you jumped the reporter right after? It already struck me as really weird from the beginning, and I'm really glad that the game recognized that, though I absolutely had no faith that it would at this point. I have read so many stories and visual novels and Otome that I absolutely didn't expect them to be aware of his creepiness, but well. Yeah, also the warning for people that don't like dead animals, there's like a dead pupper, which is really, really sad. Alright, now let's continue with side B and how it made up for side A, or if it didn't, we will find out. Side B does not shy away, and it does not hesitate to get out the big guns right at the beginning. It's a real oof moment, so I had my feelings about that, but I'm gonna go into that in the spoiler section. But finally, we're making some progress here. But when I mean this is kind of plot-wise. I mean, it's also kind of in their relationship, but it's more, it's half-half, let's say it like that. But we're also starting to make progress in the relationship department, which was great. They finally talked about things, and yeah, I guess in the climax I cried again, and I guess that's no spoiler at this point, but it was really cute. And the only gripe I really had with it was that I wanted more romantic scenes, which is an argument that I have quite often. I mean, not that often. The really great games have enough fluff in them, but yeah, here I felt like one or two would have greatly benefited the story, or like the enjoyment, but I'm still okay with everything otherwise. I just think that would have made it even better, like I said. For spoilers, we don't have that many here. If I want to get into specifics, I was expecting it to be a hoax, what he said at the beginning, so I was not surprised. And what I was surprised of was actually, I guess, the monologue that Mozu stated at the end, I guess. I was really not expecting him to say so much cute stuff. And actually, I don't know, it kind of feels wrong to call it just cute, because this actually sounds like real love, like true love. You know what I mean? The idea of true love. And that really caught me off guard, because I was not expecting that. Like, you have these usual levels of like, this is nice, and then you have, this is really good, like this feels healthy and nice, and you're feeling the tingles, and then you have those where it's like, it's just perfect, but it's still all behind this cover of fiction. But what he said, like, it felt really real and really sincere. I guess that's what I'm looking for. Really deep and sincere and true, and it was just really great for that reason. Like, I think that's one of my favorite monologues ever. Probably, maybe, I don't know. I don't remember that much of some games, but yeah, it's really high up there, and I think that's what really catapulted him in my ranking. I really liked him before, but that was the jump that he needed. And I'm still a little sad that he did not have that much romantic vibe in his scenes, but that monologue definitely made up for it, so yeah. So let's now get into the ranking. Alright, so as I already said, I really liked the interactions, so that's at least, I guess, this tier. And then it was really nice to have this slow burn of them falling for each other. I still think they could have had more romantic scenes, but I was kind of, I guess, between those two. I actually kind of liked him coming out of his shell, but it was really the side B called Your Voice where everything changed, and I really liked him changing, and what we saw was deep under this shell, or under this front that he keeps up. I guess it's kind of wrong to say front, because it's not like he's just trying to hide from someone, or he's like just not coming out to people, or that's just how he is. He's just a kuudere. I guess I'm just gonna settle on that word for now. But that last monologue where he really poured his heart out, that was when I noticed that he was actually perfect. I guess I was biased from the start, but that last monologue that he had was just perfect. And it was heartbreaking in a sense, but it was so true and sincere. I could, even if I wanted to, I could not put him in a lower tier. So yeah, this is his ranking. Next we're gonna play the next guy in my sights, and that is Limbo. With Limbo we have all three guys that I was most interested in this game complete. Then I'm really hyped for him. I guess I'm not hyped for him, but I'm also not lukewarm for him. I'm looking forward to it. I think he can be probably pretty fun and pretty nice. I think he's probably gonna be a strong character, but we will see. We will find out next time. Until then, bye!
Limbo. この度はご愁傷様。お悔やみを。
I just like him so much.
おう、ご丁寧にありがとうございます。死んでねっつうの。
I like him too. Definitely my faves right now.